morning. I open this service with a prayer, and I open this prayer with what I know to be the most potent words we can speak. Thank you. Thank you for this community of loving and kind souls. Thank you for the peace we find here each week. Thank you for the powerful ideas we explore as we embrace living everyday wonder in all its varied forms. Not the least of which is the wisdom of the body as it lovingly connects our hearts and minds in a truly divine experience. Continuing this prayer, I recognize that there is only one God, known by many names, but still only one. One Father, Mother, Parent, Creator of the one life, and that life is perfect, complete, and divine, and it is my life now, and the life of all people, all animals, all nature. All of us here, out there, everywhere, coming together, united as one family. So from a place of growing, understanding, and uniting with Spirit, I declare our hearts and minds open as we show up here this morning to learn the spiritual principles that are the foundation of our faith and to trust what we know is true of Spirit within today, tomorrow, and eternally. And so it is. All right. Good morning and welcome to the Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. I am Pat Ferguson, your practitioner spiritual director for 2022. I don't know what the weather is where you are, but it's hot as blue blazes here in Kentucky and has been for 2 weeks. But I guess if you're in Arizona, that comment might seem a little heavy-handed. Well, last week we learned about talking kindly and lovingly to our bodies, and today we welcome Reverend C.C. Coltrain to help us wrap up our month of body awareness by telling us why we should listen to them too. As is my custom, I open my morning prayers before the service to welcome the day and the week, and I light our God candle so it will be shining bright to welcome each of you in. I hope it's the first thing you see when you pop into the Zoom room, because welcome you we do, no matter what denomination you were raised in or where you came from, or even if this is your first faith experience. All are welcome here. And the most important thing for you to remember is that you are welcome here. Join us in saying our mission and vision statement, if you would. Our mission statement: to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God. And our vision statement: a world that honors and respects all people. All right, let's get this party started with our opening song, I Love Myself the Way I Am by Jay Joseph.
Myself the way I am, there's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me, there's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. Myself just the way I am. just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
I listen to my body, knowing it is speaking as God. Welcome our practitioner of the week, Vicki Jeter, to do our spiritual reading and meditation. Vicki?
I just have to say, I'm just so excited about today. Our reading this morning comes from the awesome book, The God Code by Greg Braden. I don't know if any of you ever have heard of that book, but now that you have heard of it, if you ever get a hold of it, it is an awesome, awesome book. My inspiration for choosing this particular reading and meditation is recognizing that both the largest and the smallest expressions of the body of God go on to infinity. Sometimes solutions to life's deepest mysteries, such as man's search for the meaning of life, are found in the most unlikely places. In hindsight, once the discoveries are made and the mysteries are solved, it is not uncommon to find that the most elusive answers were, in fact, present all along, simply not recognized. In these instances, the obvious appears to conceal itself like the forest hidden in the trees. A remarkable discovery linking the biblical alphabets of Arabic and Hebrew to modern chemistry reveals a lost code, a translatable alphabet and clue to the mystery of the origins of creation that has lived within us all along. Applying this discovery to the language of life, the building blocks of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon within DNA may now be replaced with key letters of the ancient alphabets, like working a word puzzle. In doing so, This code within all of life is transformed into the words of a timeless spiritual message. God's ancient name is encoded in the genetic information of every cell in every life. The message reads, God eternal within the body, meaning humankind is one family with a universal common heritage and the result of an intentional act of creation. Thank you, Greg. Our meditation today is a guided chakra meditation with a flair of adventure. Now, take a nice, deep, relaxing breath, shifting into the space for a guided meditation. Settle in, allow yourself to feel more supported by the furniture around you. Turning your attention now to your own spirit, your soul, your body. Open your mind and heart to taking a journey where you are perfectly safe and comfortable, honoring the universal body of the earth and the stars, as well as the universe within your body. There's nothing you need to do but travel along with presence. Now, I invite you on a fantastic voyage into the inner universe of your body. A classic line from the movie The Fantastic Voyage in 1966 said, "We stand in the center of infinity between outer and inner space, and there's no limit to either." As in the microcosm, so in the microcosm. Imagine now you have come into your body through your heart, riding most comfortably in a vehicle tinier than the tiniest cell. But you see everything with crystal clarity. As you travel away from your heart in your little vehicle, turn around and see your heart beating and say thank you. Setting your intention on your chakras, you are headed for the base of your spine. Notice each part of your body as you pass along the way. Notice how you feel as you see them. Notice the grandeur of all the systems working together. Your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, your immune system, your skeletal system, all doing what they do in correspondence with one another without the need for you to think a thing. As you consider all this, simply say, thank you. As you travel now toward the back of your body, you begin to see a brilliant luminescent rainbow of light. The rainbow is radiating and showering light around everything. Now, before you, you can see your entire chakra system, each level shaped as a unique mandala. Coming in much closer to your chakras, you float down gently until you are just outside your root chakra, which is red. All the colors are rich and vibrant, but because it is you, you see them easily. Now, take your vehicle into the center of your root chakra. How does it feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything needed for it to function optimally. Check the connection of your root chakra to your body. Check this connection to spirit. Take a deep, slow breath in and float gently up to the center of your second chakra, the seat of procreation and creativity. The color is orange. How does it feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything needed for its optional functioning. Check the connection of your second chakra to your body. Check this connection to spirit. Taking another deep, slow breath, float up to the center of your third chakra, your solar plexus, the seat of your power of choice. The color is yellow. How does it feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything it needs for optimal functioning. Check the connection of your third chakra to your body. Check this connection to spirit. With another deep, slow, relaxing breath, float up to the center of your heart chakra. The color is green. How does this central hub of love feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything needed for optimal functioning. Check the connection of your heart chakra to your body. Check this connection to spirit. With your next breath, you rise into the chakra center of your throat, the seat of your voice. The color is blue. How does it feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything it needs for optimal functioning. Check the connection of your fifth chakra to your body, and check this connection to spirit. With your next breath, rise into the center of your third eye chakra, the seat of mystical knowing. The color is purple. How does it feel? With compassionate love and appreciation, make note of anything needed for its optimal functioning. Check the connection of your third eye chakra to your body. Check this connection to spirit. Finally now, breathe in fully, rising to the center of your crown chakra, resting there just long enough to fully appreciate the seat of direct connection to your higher self, your direct cable to the divine. And with one exhilarating breath, rise out of your crown chakra and fly into the universal heavens among limitless stars. Know that you are one with the infinite, all that is. Find your way gently and easily coming back to everyday being to enjoy the rest of our service.
Thank you, Vicki. Now our special music of the day is Karen Drucker with I See the Beauty in You.
I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you. I see the wisdom in you. I see the strength in you, and so it is. I see the joy that's in you. I see your light shining through. I see the love that's in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic the courage in you, and I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. And I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you, I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the power in you, and I see the greatness in you, I see the greatness in you, and I see the goodness in you now, I see the goodness in you, and I see the wisdom in you, I see the wisdom in you. Oh, I see your strength, your strength. I see the strength in you, and I see your joy, joy, joy. I see the joy in you, and I see your light shining, light. I see the light in you, and I feel the love that's in you. I see the love in you, and I see the grace that's in you. I see the grace in you, and I see the courage in you. I see the courage in you, and I see the heart in you. I see the heart in you, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is.
So it is. Well, if you've been around Centers for Spiritual Living for very long, you probably know or knew of Reverend C.C. Coltrain as the senior minister at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Dayton, up in Ohio, because that is where she served for 15 years after graduating from the Holmes Institute in 2005. But prior to that, she practiced law in Salt Lake City, Utah. You may not have known that. I didn't. And during her years of service since 2005, she has spearheaded diverse committees and worn many different hats. After leaving CSL Greater Dayton in 2020, she joined a home office as manager of the Home Institute, and within a year became their president. She currently lives in Michigan, and we are grateful to have her today. And her bio made me wonder, where would we all be without committed, hardworking, and selfless people of her nature and dedication, who keep our science of mind philosophy alive and thriving? Yes, she does. Welcome.
Thank you, beloved. It is so nice to see you. Pat took a class with me, a long time ago, and we've just sort of been fans of each other ever since. And of course, I get to see and communicate with Vicki fairly regularly because she's taking classes at Holmes Institute, where I am the president and right now the accreditation officer, which is always interesting. We're right in the middle of that. It's kind of ironic for me to think about talking about the body. It's kind of ironic given the fact that for much of my life, I sort of lived from here up. You know, I ignored the body and lived in my head. It's been fairly recent for me that I have learned to listen to and love my body. I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful to know that the body is the divine creation as well. You know, as we age, we all know this, our bodies change a lot. And the
Reverend Cece said she
His
might get a
spine.
little. There we
Am I
go.
back?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to pay attention to that. Anyway, I was saying that my husband has severe scoliosis and he had surgery, and all that did was stop the collapse of his spine. So he's still in a lot of pain every day, and his activities are limited, and it makes him very angry at times and depressed at others. It's hard to watch that. It's hard for him to live with it, but it is, something that happens to us as we age. But probably because I'm watching it, I've spent a lot of time thinking about living in this human body. It is as it happened to me was some years ago. Am I still am I going on and off again?
You went off for just a little bit. We know that you mentioned there could be a couple glitches in your internet because of
Okay.
where you're located, but we're with you.
Okay, good. Hopefully the leaves will stop fluttering. What happened to me originally was that I had a couple of really startling meditations years ago. As I was meditating, I all of a sudden got a visceral body filled feeling of what we teach, that there is only one body, that is God's body, and that body is everywhere. We know that has to be true, right? Ernest Holmes wrote, humankind is a threefold principle of life. We are a threefold principle of life. Each person is spirit, mind, and body. From spirit, we receive inspiration and guidance. In mind, we find a perfect law of life. And through body, we prove that we are individualized points of invisible principle. I love that notion. I am an individual point of invisible principle. But there is only one power, one life, one intelligence, one, and we can call it, as Vicki mentioned, God, creative intelligence, whatever we choose to call it. We just simply recognize it everywhere, in every moment, in every place. It's the only thing going on in this universe. And so Ernest Holmes also said that the universe is the manifest body of God, meaning that the divine intelligence and creativity out of its own self created everything that exists, everything, and it continues to create and maintain all existence, from the chair you're sitting on to the outer reaches of the universe. It's all the body of God. And that means that I must be too, right? I must be too. I don't know what part I am. I mean, you can't really separate it. I just know that it is all I am, and that I am in it and of it. And so I was sitting in meditation, and I got that in a sense greater than I'd ever gotten it before, that it's not my body, it is the divine body. It is the body of everything that is. And that for me was a moment of embodiment of the divine that I'd never really felt before. And it happened again a couple of weeks later. There's a story. Here's another book for your to read list. Mark Nepo, The Book of Awakening. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. And in that book, he writes a story about a divinity student who was stricken with diphtheria. He says polio, but I checked it out and it was actually diphtheria. And he became paralyzed because before we eradicated or virtually eradicated diphtheria, it could paralyze and kill. And so he became paralyzed from diphtheria. And somewhere deep within him gave rise to this call to dance. And so very painstakingly and painfully and slowly, he began to dance, and miraculously not only regained the use of his legs, but he became one of the fathers of modern dance. And Nepo wrote, "It is compelling for us to realize that studying God did not heal him. Embodying God did. Embodying God." And that was what I felt. Meditation was this moment of pure embodiment. I think that embodying the divine is what we're here to do, right? It's why we study. It's why we get together in community. It's why we meditate and pray and do all those things that we do. We are here to embody the divine, which means bringing it right here to earth, inside of us and as us. Nothing more and nothing less. That's what we're here to do. And we can't do that without the love and acceptance of ourselves, including our bodies. That has to happen. We're here to let our bodies and all the rest of ourselves express divinity. Express divinity. But unfortunately, I think we're trained up in our culture to think of our bodies more as pack animals that we ride through life. We can develop or particularly for women, but for men too, we can develop a dislike of our bodies because we're told that there is an ideal body that women are supposed to have, and there is an ideal body that men are supposed to have, and none of us have it because we don't get to airbrush ourselves every morning. We're simply told we should look that way. It's like, strike against our bodies. And then, of course, we grow up in a culture that tells us that our bodies are sinful because of what they crave or want or desire. And there's another strike against our bodies. But here's the thing. We cannot separate the body from the spirit. Our bodies are not separate from our spiritual lives. We live our spiritual lives through the body. The body that itself is a spiritual thing. And even when they make funny noises or slow down or become ill, they are still the body of God. They're part and parcel of spirit, not just a container, but a miraculous tool, if you will, by which our highest self can express itself. And they are miraculous. Part of the meditation that Vicky did is about the miracle of the body. And I was doing a little research and I found out that in every second, and there are 37 billion cells in our body, but every single one of them, every second, there are 10 billion chemical reactions going on. And we don't have to think about that at all. It just happens. That to me is absolutely miraculous. And it goes on no matter what shape or size or age or color or any other condition. All bodies are miraculous. They're miraculous. We breathe and we digest and we move and we think. Miraculous. The body just and does its thing. Use it so that we can inhabit this divine body. I'm going to pause for just a second. Wait for me. There we go. My internet decided to be unstable. It's quite amazing what the body does, and we can use it to do what we're here to really do, which is to embody the divine and thereby give the gift that each one of us, and only each of us individually, can give to the world. Every single one of us has a divine, unique, necessary gift that we give to the world. And that's the body is part of that. And it is part of the divine fullness, which expresses itself in as many ways as it can. You know, the green leaves outside my window, the flowers that are finally bursting into bloom here, the wildflowers and in my garden, the people that I meet, the beautiful faces on this screen, where it's all part of the expression. And it includes the bodies. And the bodies that we have are actually quite powerful ways of becoming closer to the divine, because the divine speaks through the body to us. Not just, you know, the brain is part of the body, and that's the tool that gives us our thoughts. But more than that, you know, our intuition often works with us and tells us things through our gut feeling, right? It's a body thing. It's a visceral sense that something is really right or something is not quite right. It is filled with little nudges, and with sometimes with shouts and screams and yells and, hey, pay attentions from the body that can help us find the direction of our lives and the next step on the path. And it allows us to move into a deeper experience and appreciation of the mystery that life is, the mystery that is the divine as us, because it is a mystery. You know, how can we be so paradoxically completely human and completely divine? But we are, and our bodies can help us experience that, and we live in that mystery. And the body comes with an incredibly powerful tool which can help us get acquainted with the activity of our body. It's the breath. It is so simple, but it is so powerful. All we have to do is take a deep breath, drop our shoulders, take another deep breath, and we become integrated, body, mind, and spirit. And we get brought fully into the present moment, no matter where we were off, future, past, wherever. We breathe and integrate, and here we are in the present, which is where we hear that intuitive guidance. There is a psalm that says, we are wonderfully and fearfully made. It's a little translation error there, because the word fearfully from the Hebrew really means with great reverence, with heartfelt interest, with enormous respect. So we are made with great reverence, great heartfelt interest, and great respect. And perhaps that's the way we should look at our bodies, with great reverence and heartfelt interest and respect, because they are truly wonderfully made, regardless of what the Supreme Court says, regardless of what our culture tells us, regardless of anything. The divine made flesh is what we are, wonderfully and reverentially made. And Ernest Holmes tells us that the physical body exists so that the soul may function on this plane, right? Body is not an unreality. He says quite the reverse. It is divine and perfect reality when rightly understood. So the body is not something to treat as a mere sack of meat. It is a divine expression, and perhaps one that we should lean into and embrace with our whole hearts. With our whole hearts. It's the connecting point. There is a wonderful notion of the cross, which is a fairly eternal and worldwide expression of spirit. It is the place where the finite and the infinite meet, and it meets in the body, right about the level of the heart. There's another way of looking at it where through mystical Judaism, where the name of God, which is Yod He, mystical traditions help us understand that this body is truly a a dwelling place of the divine itself. So it's the conduit by which the soul's work gets done. It is the way we give our divine gifts. Through the words we speak, through the touches we give, through the smiles, the eye-to-eye connections, all of those things. And so there's an interesting little practice that I'd like to run through with you to wrap up. It is a practice that helps you tune in to what your body is trying to tell you. Because as I said earlier, you know, it's the gut feeling that often shows us what our next step is. It is the gut feeling that can lead to the right thing for our healing, for our better health, for our more complete expression. It's also the little nudges in the heart that say, you know, take this action, help this person, send some love to this group or person or whatever. And so it starts with the breath, this practice, because it brings us present. So I invite you to just simply relax in your chair, close your eyes if you wish, and take a deep breath. Exhale or inhale, and then let it all out. And drop your shoulders. And take another inhale, and this time conscious breath, feeling the air move in and out. And letting your breath just return to its regular rhythm. Just notice the body as a whole, as it sits in its chair or in its bed or on its couch or wherever you are. And breathe into any place that feels uncomfortable. What we'll do together is ask our bodies some questions and listen. And when I say listen, I mean tune in with all your senses to its answers. What do you feel, and where in your body do you feel it in response to these questions? Because your body will tell you what it wants and what it needs. It will send you signals from the soul, leading you in a direction you may not have thought of. But before we begin, please assure your body that you will listen to what it has to say to you. Here we go. Ask your body, are you thirsty? Ask your body, are you hungry? And if so, what would you like to eat? And just listen. Ask your body where it has tension and what that tension is about. Ask your body if there is any pain. What kind of pain is it? Is it in the muscle, the joint, the tissue? Pain related to feelings, brokenheartedness? Where is it and how severe is it? And ask your body if there is something to learn from this pain. What is it about? And say thank you to your body for the conversation. Thank you for any message that you got, or for simply the fact of the conversation, if there's nothing here for you to remember or take note of. Notice how your body feels and how it has communicated with you. And in gratitude, take another deep breath. Coming easily back into your chair or wherever you're sitting. Back into the present, feeling the air around you and the furniture supporting you. Come back to this space, and when you are ready to, open your eyes. This is a very easy and simple practice that can really help us learn how our body communicates with us. I often spend time just asking my body what my hesitation is about. And I can feel it in different parts of my body, or what my anxiety is about, or what my vision is, because I can feel that in my body too. Just do it every day and ask your body a few simple yes or no questions and listen with your whole self and see what answer you get. They don't always have to be serious questions either. You could ask your body if it wants to go to the moon today, or if it wants a triple hot fudge sundae or whatever. And it's only a practice to help you tune in to how your body speaks to you, because they all do in some way or another. And you might have to, learn how your particular body speaks, and you might have to reassure your body that you will listen, because if you're like me, for a lot of years I didn't. I simply drove it. And it finally decided to assert some authority. And I got really sick, and I had to lie down for quite a while. I got a second case of mononucleosis, which I caught from my legal secretary at the time, and it was flat. And I had to learn after that how to pace myself. And I've been honing that learning for a long time. Just how do I pace myself, and what are the warning signals my body gives me? But it's much more than that. It is a deep conversation between the soul, which the heart is the dwelling place of the soul, if you will. It's that intersection place, and the rest of my body. And it tells me a lot. And I think by honing this practice and doing this practice, you're learning to hear the wisdom from the body, the wisdom of the divine physical you. And by following that wisdom, I think we get to hear what is more clearly ours to do today, in this moment, in this life, and to understand more fully and completely how to give your individual, beautiful, precious, unique, necessary gift, the gift that is you. It's what allows us to enter into a relationship with all of our divine selves. And so I would really love it if you would, at this point, join me in prayer. Once again, breathing into that amazing, miraculous body you live in. Coming into the same place, mind, body, and spirit, into this moment, into this now, into this breath. This is the only place and the only time where we can experience the truth of our teaching, that God is, and that God is everywhere present in every moment of time, in all situations, in every breath, and in every one of those 10 billion chemical reactions in every cell of our bodies every second. That is the divine magnificence in action as us. And it is everywhere we look, because every cell in that green tree outside my window is also having tens of thousands of chemical reactions every second. They're probably a little slower because trees don't walk around, but nonetheless, they're happening because it is the miracle of existence that is the manifest body of God. The miracle of existence of this planet and all its life, and me and you and all people. Each one of us, the divine made flesh. And the divine speaks to us in all ways, through the songs of the birds, through the dance of the sunlight, through the nourishment of the rain, and through the body, through the thoughts of the mind, the muscles in our body, the feelings of our hearts, joy, love, sorrow, heartbreak, all of those feelings. They are messages from the divine through this amazing body, so that our hearts, our minds, our bodies, our souls all get the message that God is present as us. Not simply by our hearts, not simply by our minds, but by our all of us, including the body. And that our love and respect for this awesomely made machine tool that we use grows. And we live more joyfully as a result. We live more easily as a result. We enjoy this embodiment a little bit more today than yesterday. And for this and so much more, I am so grateful. I am grateful for life itself, for life in this body, for all the things that it does without my even thinking, for mind, body, soul, spirit, all of it. And for the divine that I see in each face before me and everywhere I look. And so in deepest gratitude, I simply let this word fall deeply into that infinite law that always says yes, the law of the universe. It says, my beloved, whatever you wish. Yes, yes, yes. Knowing thereby that it is already done. And please say with me, and so it is.
Now we invite you into our prosperity time. Thank you so much, Reverend Cece. So as you will see, we have our prosperity affirmation. And before I do our prosperity affirmation, I just want to say thank you to each and every being here. Thank you for your talents, times, and treasures on behalf of Spiritual Center for Spiritual Living. If you check your chat, you'll find your options for the sharing of your tithes and gifts, as Miss Pat has our basket that is virtually receiving. And now I want to say our prosperity affirmation once, and then we'll say it again together. My daily life is filled with the peace, power, prosperity, and perfection of spirit. Yes. Together, my daily life is filled with the peace, power, prosperity, and perfection of spirit. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And now Miss Pat is going to bless our offering.
Yes, indeed. One God, one life, one supply. Thank you for being the light from within that halos our time, talents, and treasures, and causes us to understand that the flow of all three of these is the same flow that circles back to us multiplied. We are grateful to be blessed in such ways, both as a center and individually. Blessing the gift and the giver, I offer these words to the law that only says yes, and I release them there to become evident. And so it is.
And so it is. Now for our announcements, we have several this week. Sometimes we only have one or two, so just hang in there for the process. First, we have our board meeting for June coming up on June the 29th at 5 p.m. Eastern on this same Zoom link. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come and share this very special communion that we do on behalf of the business of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living. And your presence is appreciated, because that is the other side of the construct of the spirit, the spiritual stuff that we do. You know, when you think about the body of the center, that's part of, this is part of how we maintain the body of the center. Even virtually, Louisville Center for Spiritual Living still has a body, and the board meeting is all about that. So next, and so we're, believe it or not, we're coming up to the 1st of July, and as you probably know, the first Saturday in each month we do a visioning for LCSL, 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and the visionings are on a telebridge, which means you just dial the phone number. They're not on this church link, and the visioning goes for about 45 minutes, and there's the number, and you can always contact me as well if you have any questions about that. There's not too much can be said about the power of visioning individually and collectively. And then, drum roll, next week we have another guest speaker. Miss Louise Talon will be back with us. And we're going into the theme for July is, we've moved now from the body, we're going to go into relationships, which is just going to be too much fun. And she will be speaking on me, myself, and I. And then, as you know by now, Reverend Dr. Jesse Jennings' class is coming up on the Essential Earnest Homes, and you still have the two options. You can still sign up, and if you're interested in signing up, don't forget to be in touch with Pat, because she has the direct and seamless way to get you registered or help you know how to register. So it's either Thursdays starting July the 7th from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. or Fridays starting July the 8th through September the 9th from noon to 2:30. And oh, there's a little note from Reverend Cece. Yes, indeed, she knows Jesse. She knows Jesse is awesome. Reverend Jesse, you guys, forgive me, you guys. I very rarely remember to call Jesse Reverend Jesse, because I worked with him for so long. He just became Jesse, but it is Reverend Jesse. And what's next? Oh, yes, indeed. Our exclamation point on each of our announcements. I think you're magnificent.
Yes, indeed.